It's reading that same motion, but instead of buying shares in a company, you're placing bets on price direction, up or down. Simple. Now let's break that down. You're not owning the asset, you're just participating in price movement. That's like if your homie... I hope everybody is doing well. I want to talk about new stocks that just got introduced on Pocket Option. And I also want to go through the process of how the system works when Pocket Option puts new stocks or any new assets on the platform. I'm going to explain that whole process. So buckle up, enjoy the ride. I also want to explain to you guys how Pocket Option, some people like to frame Pocket Option as a scam or things of that nature. I don't know what people are making a reference to when they saying it's a scam, because if you're able to extract funds from a market that you can make transactional bets on, I'm truly trying to understand where the scam is at, because real people out here getting it done. Some of you ain't. And have some accountability about yourself. Stop just saying something is a scam just because you incapable of doing it. You just believe that it ain't real just because you ain't real, or you ain't making it real. You ain't making it happen for you. But you can't make it happen for you. You know why? Because you don't have a mentor. You need somebody to mentor. You need guidance. All right. You don't have guidance, but you want to say things like it's a scam. And I'm coming for all you clowns too that, want to say, oh, Pocket Option is a scam. So let's get into the video. I don't want to rant and rave too much, but yeah, we're going to get into it. Better not catch you on no YouTube platforms talking about Pocket Option is a scam, because I am coming for you. All right, so real quick, they always put new currencies and commodities and stocks and cryptocurrencies on there. They're expanding the platform as much as possible. Pocket Option has been around for about 8 years, and we've had the pleasure in the United States to be able to learn and grow throughout this whole transition. It's been a beautiful process, and I wonder why the United States is still letting them do business here if there's such a scam. But anyway, so here are the new stocks. I like to talk about stocks because I'm always watching stocks more than anything else. I do like the cryptocurrencies and the commodities. I'm not a big fan of currencies because I just don't. It's so many opportunities. I barely even get to them. But here you got Palantir Technologies right now sitting at a 71% payout. Marathon Digital Holdings sitting at an 86% payout. You got VIX sitting at a 92% payout. You got GameStop Corp sitting at a 92% payout. And you got Coinbase Global sitting at 92%. So these are the new stocks that Pocket Option just put on Pocket Option maybe about sometime like a week ago. All this means is that there's more innovation. There's more opportunities, right? I always felt like they didn't have enough. Now with what they just put on here, it seemed like more than enough, because I can barely get to commodities now. If I don't see anything I like on stocks, boom, I go to commodities. If I don't see nothing I like on commodities, boom, I go to cryptocurrencies. By the time I get the currencies, I already know whether the markets are in good conditions and whether I should even be pursuing opportunities at that precise time or not. So those are the new stocks. So I want to pull up this chart for you to help you understand how the system works. And also with me teaching you how the system works, you'll probably even understand a little bit more why people may even think that anything related to options trading or, synthetic contracts or transactional bets, they would consider it gambling, or they would consider it a scam, or they would consider it, high risk, high reward. Well, it is high risk, high reward. That's well understood. I don't debate or argue when people say it's kind of like gambling, because if you think about it, it is kind of like gambling, but everything is kind of like gambling. I would even consider what's considered the quote unquote real markets gambling. It's all gambling. If you're taking a risk, you're gambling. But I'm the type of person that like to take a risk. That's the only way you could get to the next level. If you're trying to build your social media, you taking a risk. You getting up, going to work every day, you taking a risk. Every single day, it doesn't matter, you are doing something that's taking a risk. So why is it do we have, clowns out here that, refer to everything as a scam? Why do they refer to everything as, oh, it's BS? Why? Why is this? Because you have a low vibrational mindset and you're not looking to grow at nothing in life. So when you lose at something, instead of learning how to win at it, what you do is you quit, you give up, and you call it a scam. But let me pull this up. Transition behind the scenes when Pocket Option puts new stocks on their OTC platform. So go ahead and take a look at this chart so you can have a better understanding. Market data integration. Let's go over this together. Price feeds from data aggregators or liquidity providers. So if you know anything about data analysis, I'm certified in data analysis. So I have a lot of experience. So I was able to understand and grasp the concept of what this actually means when it says market data integration, when it says price feeds from data aggregators. So they're getting the same fees, right, from the liquidity providers by using data aggregators. Simulate live market prices, no real stock ownership. No real stock ownership. And we're dealing with, pretty much it's like mirroring the market. Because all we doing is making transactional bets on the market. We're making transactional bets on the market. We're not putting shares in a company. We're not actually buying the shares. We're making bets on what we think the market is going to do. In actuality, it's the same exact thing as trading on the quote unquote real markets. Because some people like to say these are the fake markets. Internal asset modeling. Define behavior based on real-time market data. Let's read that again. Sometimes I like to read things again to make sure I fully understand it. Define behavior based on real-time market data. Huh? Listen to the way that sounds. It's defining the behavior based on real-time market data, which means it's doing exactly what the real markets are doing. When we talking about OTC, it's certain institutions, not the same ones that you'll find on overly regulated platforms, who's regulated by the SEC. Set payout ratios and volatility profile examples. So that's pretty much just letting you're having a set payout. So I know that I'm going to trade with $150. I'll know if I win, I'll know what my payout is. If I lose, I know how much I'll lose. That's all the transparency you need. Risk management and payout structuring. Analyze risk to platform balance. Design payout percentages based on factors like volatility and user interest. So it says analyze risk to platform balance. So you're analyzing your risk. You're knowing your risk according to what your balance is on the platform. That's all that's saying. So if your balance is $1,000, your risk management is by taking risks of small portions, small increments. $30. If you have $1,000 on your trading account, you should only be trading with $30. Simple. If you have $100 on your balance, you should be trading with $3. According to some of my teachings. Some people go all the way up to 5%. I feel like that's too much. I don't even like trading with more than 1%. It depends on how much I made the following year. If I made a certain amount that following year, I'll be looking to take more risks. If I make less than my norm, like if I don't make 100,000, let's say that year, if I only make 80, 70, I'm gonna keep playing it tight. But I talk a lot about risk management in my book, Legally Robbing the Banks, on Amazon. Make sure you cop it. Interface deployment. Okay, so basically the OTCs is what the assets are. That's pretty much what that's just saying. Testing and monitoring. I don't want to get into those. I want to stick with the main part. Let's stick with the main part. The market data and integration. Like that is one of the most important things where people get confused and have a misunderstanding on whether it is the markets or real or fake. If it's doing the same exact thing that the real markets, the real over-the-counter markets are doing, because I'm only talking OTC because that's all I like to trade when I'm using this platform. When I'm using this platform, PO, I like to use OTC assets. So OTC assets is all it's saying is that it's when you invest your money in, when you make bets on the market, you are investing your money to get something back in a quick, short amount of time. It's called quick trading. So that's what you are doing when you're on pocket option. You are quick trading. And it's pretty much simulated or mirrored. Some people like to use the word mirrored because all you're doing is making bets. You're not investing in the company. Simulate live market prices. Simulate live market prices, which means there is no real stock ownership. You're not purchasing shares in a company. You're making transactional bets on the market off understanding market conditions, algorithms, and technical analysis. You see, most people only learn technical analysis off these goofy YouTubers with their misleading titles like 100% win rate. There's no such thing as a 100% win rate. And I think that most people see that instantly and they get confused and triggered like, wait, so it's fake? Nah, fam. It's not fake. It's synthetic contracts, transactional bets. And there's a big difference. See, pocket option mirrors real-time market data. Ask yourself this question. When you look in the mirror, are you fake because you're looking in the mirror? It's pulling from the same price movements that the real exchanges are using. NASDAQ, S&P, Euro USD. Like I say, I like to use OTC. Yeah, it's reading that same motion. But instead of buying shares in a company, you're placing bets on price direction. You're placing bets on price direction, up or down. Simple. Now let's break that down. You're not owning the asset, you're just participating in price movement. That's like if your homie racing in a go-kart and you betting $50 on him to win, you ain't driving. But if you understand the track, if you understand how he move, when he hit the gas, you cashing out. Or let's say you shooting hoop and your homie, he playing a scrub. And well, if your homie playing a scrub, you have high expectations that your homie gonna win. So you place a bet, whatever amount your homie, you bet $50, $100, whatever on your homie. It's the same thing here. So please, I don't get it. Why do people say like it's a scam? Because it's not regulated to where you want it regulated? Well, I don't like all these regulated. I don't like all these awkward sound bites. It's like, why are you even saying that? Like, who cares? And why should I care? I'm not going to let your negativity steer me away from my bag. Because you low vibrational and think everything is a scam. Anytime you could extract $250,000 in small increments over 60 days, I don't care what you call it. You can call it synthetic. You can call it spiritual. You can call it invisible. Run that. See, I'm not a follower. I'm not going to let a bunch of people stop me from putting my bets in like you. Like, what are we even talking about? There's a lot of people who have been consistently profitable in the BO world, the PO world. You're just mad because you too lazy to learn the skill. You want instant results without discipline. But you crying in the comment sections like them clowns on Reddit when other people getting results, you scared to go. Man, you missed me with that. Stick to the program. Run the investment protection plan. Manage your risks. And you're going to have a smooth transition. You ain't buying the stock. You just saying, in the next 30 seconds, I believe Tesla price is going up. Or in the next 2 minutes, I think Apple is going down. And if you right, you eating. If you wrong, you learn. Simple. But don't say it's fake just because you can't stomach the game. Because you can't put things into perspective to where you're able to get wins consistently. You're dealing with pocket option. That is the institution. Is there something wrong with having one bank? I know most people only have one bank out here. Literally. Like most people got one bank. All right, I'm gonna break it down like this. They say it's less transparency when it's less regulation. Pocket option has less regulation. Your bank, who you bank with, has less transparency too. The less transparency is derived from telling you where the money you lost, where that went, and where the money came from that you gained. Where's the money at that's in my savings account? Where is that at? It's in my account, but that money, we don't have to tell you what's going on with that money until you pull it out. The money comes from a big pool where other traders lost their funds. The cash flows just like a bank. The money in the savings account is in the pool until you take your portion out by transferring funds or making withdrawals. Less transparency, I'm good with that. It's not much of a difference between a bank. But a lot of people trying to say, oh, is this, is that, and you only got one bank. 9 times out of 10, most people only got one bank, and that's wild. That's like trying to give advice about shoes and only got one pair. Me, I bank with multiple institutions, not just because I can, but because I like the ability to grow. The same way I have money, the same way I move money is the same way I move in trades. Strategic, calculated, bold. The money I save, that's just the money I use to place on bets. Or that's the money I use to share in companies or invest. I invest in a lot of things. But I always had to take them risks, and taking those risks is what helped me get to the next level. And there's more levels to get to. And when it comes to placing bets, I don't place blind bets. I read technical analysis, market structure, EMAs, momentum, sentiment. Like this is coming from a real place. I wouldn't call it gambling. I would call it educated speculation. Yeah, I call that educated speculation. Epictetus said, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. You want people to believe in you, show results. Don't argue with folks. Don't argue with folks who ain't done 10% of the work you've done. Let them talk while you execute. You got to put in the execution. Got to put in the work. And you will see some success as long as you continue to do what it is you got to do. You want to master this game? It's discipline over emotion. It's strategy over noise. It's patience over hype. Whether you trading stocks, betting contracts, or investing in life, principles don't change. The principles don't change, y'all. So I wanted to break this down for a lot of people who don't understand. There may be some things you may have misunderstood. There may be a lot of things that you truly understand already, but I might help you put it into perspective for you. But we got to stop with it's a scam and it's fake when you guys don't know what you're talking about. It's just not for everybody. It's for the ones who can read the markets. It's for the ones who can control their emotions and move with precision. Stay intentional and stay focused. Because if you out here waiting on Wall Street to come save you, keep waiting. Keep on waiting. But if you got the guts to learn how to build with the tools we got today, then stick with me and watch how we flip contracts into real results. Remember, in trading, it's always a risk. Work, hustle, and invest. And remember, we don't chase trades, we execute them.